Hi, this is Matt Bradley-Tschirgi with a look at Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. And the news I reported before of the rumored date of Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster, which is going to be on August 19th, yesterday in fact, ended up not being true. But we did get one change on the Steam page. They added screenshots. So in lieu of talking about first impressions of Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster, I'm going to talk about the screenshots. And then thanks to translations I've read in various places online, both from some of my great commenters, you guys are doing good, keep on going. And if you want to leave a comment, please post something below. And like if there's other things you want me to cover, if you like, seemed like the episode and the music did pretty well, let me know in the comments, and like and subscribe and all these fun things I'm wiggling my hands around. In that video with the Final Fantasy IV Pixel Master intro last episode, some people translated the Japanese text and what it meant. In there is, it said, first third of September is when we should expect a Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. I think that's a bit of a disappointment. It has been like a month since the first three games. But if we're to take that at its word, I guess we will be getting the next games piece by piece. There's been no real news on Final Fantasy V or VI Pixel Remastered versions. So there we go. So I'm going to talk about these handful of screenshots. Again, if you have ideas for the videos I want to do, or I should do, post in the comments below. So let's get started. We have here a scene early in the game. It is Cecil and Kain meeting. A few things to notice here. We have, better brightness in the look of the inside of the castle. And when Cecil talks, it's just his name, and below it says the text, in this case, always. Final Fantasy IV has had a lot of translations. I'll be a bit curious which one they use. In the Final Fantasy IV, Pixel or DS version, it had very medieval language, so I'm wondering if we'll be getting that or not, or something new, or some kind of mixture of old and new. And also in the GBA versions and several of the what they call the 3D version that's still available on Steam. When a character talks, you see a screen, you see a version of his head from the Yoshitaka Amano painting, which lets you, I think, identify a bit more with the characters. I like that change. But because Pixel Remaster is trying to go back to the OG Final Fantasy, you just get the text of the name and the dialogue. If we punch in here, we can see, some difference on the pixel art of Kain and Cecil in their Dark Knight and Dragoon outfit, and specifically look at the stripe, right? Cecil has a yellow stripe, Kain has a red stripe. That wasn't in the original, or if it wasn't so visible. And I think that's a neat kind of flair to make them easier to tell who's who at a distance, aside from the color of their armor. Good old status screen, you see this a lot in the Final Fantasy games, and it uses the same status graphics as, the original Final Fantasy IV version did for the Super Famicom and SNES and whatnot. All the fonts look the same. I like it does say at the bottom, current location, moon. So this is a screenshot, from the moon part of the game, which is near the end. And we can see at the left, the time is 30 hours. So, this is a longer game, Final Fantasy IV, as compared to the other ones, even though the running time for all of these will be shorter if you play with auto battle that does them at twice speed. So this is from a boss battle, one of the many times you fight Golbez, who looks just like Darth Vader, and I think the music when he comes out, do 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 do, sounds just like Darth Vader. I like this background, kind of trippy, how it goes further into the horizon with the, almost looks like ice cubes or something. And I can't wait for the updated music we'll get in Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. It should be pretty cool. The black chocobo, yeah, there's yellow chocobos in this game. Black chocobos let you fly, and they can only land in the forest if memory serves. And we can see some of the updated water effects. The water looked very pretty in Final Fantasy 1 through 3 Pixel Remaster. I expect nothing different for Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster in that regard. Also notice there's the map in the upper right-hand corner. And we get to see another image of something flying. This time, I don't have the name of the ship off the top of my head, but it's the ship that looks like the whale going up on the moon near the end of the game. And notice, because it's not doing Mode 7 stuff, it's a lot crisper when you're flying around. Stuff doesn't look more pixelated or chunky in the distance. The music player. I mean, this is really cute. The other games do this, of course, and I like to have it on while I'm working from home. Just cool, updated versions of Final Fantasy music to listen to, you know. The characters, you know, animate. They walk towards each other and spin and dance, pirouette. I have some clips of that in some of my other videos. Links to all the videos below in the show notes. The overworld. This appears to be from a castle early on in the game. I haven't played Final Fantasy IV in a while, so excuse me on that. But we can see the typical kind of updated pixel look of the maps and the lovely water effects with kind of the pulsating water with the light shining on it. It's a nice touch. Some people overlook. This is the bestiary mode where you can go around and see where the monsters are in case you're missing one monster you want to kill to get the achievement for killing all the monsters in the game. And some of them have, you know, a pretty low encounter rate. This is some of the concept art. This one's not by Yoshitaka Amano. I have to look up the artist on this one, but the Super Famicom box art is the same kind of style going on, as is the box art for like Final Fantasy V for the Super Famicom. It's, you know, not quite the Final Fantasy Tactics kind of toy soldier style, but it is chibi and kind of cute looking, kind of more representing the proportions that show up on these screens, because all the guys look like 1 inch tall on the screen, right? And that's it. You know, a quick episode, quick look at those new screenshots of Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. What kind of content do you want in Final Fantasy series? I've had fun doing these videos. They're doing pretty well with the views and stuff. Leave a comment below, like, and subscribe. I also do a movie and a video game podcast called Sequelcast 2. Go to that at sequelcast2.com. And I have books on movies and video games and an upcoming short story collection coming out. Check those out in the link in the show notes, or go to matwbt.com. Follow me on Twitter at matwbt. This is Matt Bradley-Tschirgi. Edward would say in Final Fantasy IV, "Oh no, my harp." He wouldn't say that, or would he?